You guys ready?
Hells yeah.
Let's do this.
All right, folks. Yep. Got another third mic episode here. It's me and Jimmy, and we got Mike on third mic.
How's it going?
What's going on, Mike? How you doing, man?
Doing all right. How about y'all?
Oh, doing all right, man. Glad to have you here doing this shit.
Hell yeah, good to be here.
And this is this kind of the beginning of this is going to kind of go back to a podcast that a lot of people haven't heard yet because the first time I was lazy, the second time my laptop battery died. But sitting there talking to Mike about taxes, you know something to think about? You pay for a car, right? You own it. It's yours. It's not really, because you got to pay personal property taxes, right? You paid it off. It's paid off. You got to pay personal property taxes. Well, I got a car. I took a loan out for that car. That's not my car. That's the bank's car.
Well, it's the same thing as your fucking house.
What I'm saying, it's the bank's car right now.
If I don't get me hot right out the bat, man.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is if I don't pay my bills, the bank takes my car. Why am I paying personal property taxes on a car that ain't mine?
No shit.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways.
Yeah, the bank should be paying that, but they're all linked, man. It's like a fucking legal mafia, man. You really had to go there right out the bat. The fucking usury, man.
I really didn't. I shouldn't have, especially since I'll almost certainly be putting this one out before the taxes one, so it won't make any sense. I'll put the taxes one out, and then we'll put this one out next.
Man, you got me worked up, but it's all good though.
You got your refund, right?
Not yet.
Well, no, but you know what you're getting.
I don't want to even. That's not a refund. That's me. They're giving me some of my motherfucking money back.
What you overpaid.
Oh, we're gonna be nice here. Fish. Fuck you. Sorry, Mike. How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's all bullshit. Going back with the vehicles too, like we were talking, the newer these vehicles get, the less you can do and handle on your own. So, no matter what, you're not in control more and more as time goes on by. In fact, like we were talking with these technologies these days, like these phones and everything, I was taking apart a lot of different electronics, and when you start getting the stuff like iPhones and all of that, you start realizing that you're wasting your time more and more and more.
Shit. It's all good. We got a slight technical difficulty. It's all good. Hold on. We're going to get it straight. Ryan's going to plug that cord right back in there. Fuck it, man. Just slide that stand a little further.
That was so fucking stupid. I was trying to be all smooth and extend the fucking boom for Mike, and then I pulled the goddamn cord out of the mic like that.
Yeah, I gotta thing with it.
You stole that shit from me. He was talking. It was like the government sneaking up on him. He was talking about taxes and the government, and like, oh, we gotta cut this mic cord. Ryan's playing the role of government.
Continue what you were saying.
Sorry, man.
Oh no, you good? So yeah, it's like I realize that when I'm, trying to get these components, and on top of all of that, if you want to do any form of, like, let's say reverse engineering on anything, it's like the further up you go, especially when you get into the Apple technologies. Mm-hmm. Yes, Apple technologies, anything like that, it gets even worse. You can't do shit, it's...
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
It's nothing's open source. You don't know what's really going on with your device. You don't know what's running in the background.
It's like the only way you're going to get in there is if you have the gatekeeper and the fucking keymaster to get in that shit.
That's why that when you turn it in, they have to inspect it really close. Both settings that you change up, if you break any certain settings in your phone in order to unlock certain things, you're voiding out. I guess I guess when you could return your phone, let's say, and get the next upgrade or whatever. They try and get you with that. Bring your old phone in, and they'll go over and everything. And yeah, they don't want you taking the shit apart. And if you do, it ain't gonna be worth the shit anyways. But yeah, it's like a real tight lockdown. But then you got other devices that you can modify. You can hook up and read off of certain IC units if you got the right equipment for it. But yeah, when you start getting these higher technologies, yeah,
just like fuck you.
Well, and you know what I had heard about? This was like I don't know, maybe a year or two ago, and it doesn't seem it doesn't seem unbelievable, but there was this guy who was doing these tutorials on YouTube about how to, I don't know if it was de-Apple, but I know it was definitely like how to de-Google your phone.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, you're not gonna get, you don't have Google Maps, you don't have Google Search. You don't have these. I mean, they are really good services, but it's like, you know what? The better these services are, it's more like, well, the reason why they know how to get to the next place quicker than anybody else is because they're fucking looking at everything on a fucking satellite. Yeah. Or the reason why their algorithm's so good is because they hear everything that you're saying, and then before you even think the lyrics to Danger Zone in your head, you go and type it into Google, and it's like, were you thinking about Danger Zone?
Absolutely. And these are major concerns. These are major concerns, actually, that people should have when it comes to these things. I'm probably gonna have to re-look up this to, I don't want to say anything too wrong, but there was definitely a virus, all right, that was in a lot of these Windows computers, and in fact probably still are in some to this day, that runs in the background. This was a virus that was chained and actually going on to upgraded Windows versions on its own. Sounds crazy, right? Because how would something would know to upgrade on its, that, a virus that's already, you know what I'm saying? Usually usually when it comes to these things, people inject code in certain portion. I don't want to get too much into all that. The point is, this virus traveled around at all these different was installed in all these Windows systems and traveling around just to wind up at a weapons military base, U.S. military base, over in Iraq, though, apparently. Mm-hmm. It was one stationed over there. So it's like the whole thing is basically, this was put in by someone clearly that was on the inside, had some serious knowledge on, the upcoming technology, knew what was coming up, and knew where this thing was going to go, and it took a lot of time from what I understand correctly, and that's why I say it seems like they can't get rid of it. I mean, it doesn't matter now, it's like it don't harm you. The point is, it was to track down that one base or something in that nature, I guess.
But it wouldn't surprise me about let's say there was a virus written for like Windows 95 that was able to continue to jump to future versions of it, because it was funny. I had this old computer. I think it had Windows. I think it was Windows 98 or something, and this was like well into it was probably like 2012 or something. I had this old Windows computer. And I was just as a goof, I put in like there was an AOL. It was an AOL. I remember like 2 weeks of AOL free. Oh, I put like an AOL 10.0 CD into it, and then when I tried to load it up just as a goof, because I was just loading different stuff on the computer, the computer told me I am too old to run this programming. So I was like, how the fuck do you know how old you are and stuff into the future that you know that you're not going to be able to, like, he's like, this program is invalid. Don't say your computer is outdated and will not run this program.
That shit's almost creepy, man. That's almost like saying you get to a certain point in time and then certain parts of history are invalid, even though they're totally valid. Maybe I get too deep when I say it like that, but that's how I take it. Oh, we forgot about that. It never happened. We can't pull that up.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like that. Maybe it's a little too deep. Maybe that machine was just kind of retarded.
No, you want to...
It was a mongoloid. Sorry.
No, there's an audio video example of that, and it's called Lost Media. There's things you remember seeing as a kid, maybe a commercial, maybe a TV show, but that film is destroyed. Nobody has it. Maybe somebody has it in the Midwest on a VHS tape. Yeah. But it's dead. It's lost media. And the same thing could happen with history just as easily. Maybe even more than easily, because there is no video example of it. So you're not too off on that.
Well, that's the thing, is that I've dissected this, crazy shit going on, the speculations with our history and everything that's happened in the past, and all the conspiracies. And I've been sitting there and trying to dissect everything as time goes on. And, without the, like a lot of the technology that we have now that they didn't have back then. And then you see the manipulation that's going on even when we have technology at this point. If you see a video of something, no matter how real it looks, you got to question it. No matter what you're told, you'll hear the same thing, but a changed story on another. Everything changes.
Well, especially now because of AI.
Right. So, you got to think, it's like, okay, now let's pause for a second. This is in the present. This is what's going on around us. And I can't for the life of me tell you what the fuck is really going on in this world. And the manipulation is actually pretty fucked up, because
it's really fucked up? Because it's a person also manipulating that AI before it's coming out there. So whatever that... everybody can say that thing's thinking for itself, but initially it's starting off of a fucking person's brain that has certain points of view, and it seems like it's translating to that AI. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's got to start somewhere. A person created the AI, or was it a person?
Have you ever
perhaps a reptilian? I don't know.
Have you ever
goddamn. Where's David Icke?
Have you ever looked at, or have you ever tried to have AI do something for you?
No, I haven't, but I've read enough shit about it, and it's freaky. I've heard about people having them put a song together by several artists. It's freaky. There's already people suing. That shit is fucked up. It's fucked up to me, man, the way it goes. It's awesome when you look at some of the shit, some of the images. You can create some awesome shit. I've seen people do it, innocent images. But then when create a song, if like Chris Cornell and Kurt Cobain collaborated and they didn't die and it was later in their lives. There are people that have done shit like that, man. Oh, yeah. And it's something that sounds fucking good too. That makes it even worse.
Well, here's the thing. I asked that to say this. People are using AI for all different kinds of things. So there are during the Russia-Ukraine thing, there were people making artificial intelligence images of like a weapons manufacturing bunker, or whatever. And if you look at it as a whole, it's like, oh my God, there's a guy in a bunker and he's building guns. But the thing is, it's like AI is good. It's really good. It's not perfect, but when you look at, there's little details, like especially like with human beings, every once in a while, right? Like let's say you have an AI image generator and you're like, I want to see just a human standing straight, and then you're like, look at his fingers, and if you look at the whole image, it's fine, but you look at his fingers and it's sort of like all gnarled up and shit, and it looks fucking weird.
Dude,
AI is not perfect,
Ryan,
but
it's
enough
not
to
perfect.
manipulate.
It's
what
close
I think
enough to where it's scary. They don't have far to go.
You know how scary it is?
It's going faster.
It's scary enough, and the people that control it enough, you could easily, I mean, it was done over 20 years ago, and they got away with it. You can easily create a false flag scenario with AI at this point with shit.
Absolutely.
You can make something happen and put something out there. Even though there's enough people that are awake, they'd be like, that's bullshit.
Jimmy.
But
Mike,
but those people don't matter.
You both are missing the big picture here. Oh, they're going to do a false flag? Nah, man. I'm worried that we're going to put enough of our episodes out online, and then they're going to get our voices, and then somebody's just going to just type up a script of us. That's what bothers me, man. I don't give a fuck about false flags.
A couple morons from Partlow put the plan together. What the fuck are you talking about, dog?
Nah, man, we got so many listeners.
I'm from
man.
Arkansas.
I know, we're groundbreaking.
We got so many listeners, dog. One of the 12. They're gonna.
We actually have 15.
They're gonna put our voices into an AI algorithm, and they're gonna steal our show from us.
15 now. But I gotta say, one of them is me.
Really? Just now?
Yeah. No, I was one of the first ones to subscribe.
That would be great.
You didn't subscribe? We'd have 16.
I did subscribe.
That's okay. So you're one of them.
You just made it sound like you just subscribed, and I was like, shit, man, we've been doing this for almost a year now.
Kind of a mongoloid. No, that stuff is freaky, and they tell you everything anyway. So, but the AI thing is like, oh fuck yeah.
Don't tell me anything. That's the whole thing. At this point, that's where I'm at. It's like, I don't even want to hear anything. Can't believe nothing, dude, except what goes on around you.
Oh, you mean in your immediate vicinity? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, once you become awake enough, you don't take in what they say. You kind of look at it from a distance. Do you know how easy it is to put puzzles together now? For me, I don't want to speak for Ryan, but I feel like Ryan knows what I mean by that comment. You can put, this is what's gonna happen here. You can almost, it's fucking easy, and it's not even blame per se. There's plenty of that to go around. We're not talking about that. It's just what's gonna happen and why things happen, and the overall reasoning for certain people doing the fucked up shit they do that makes shit happen where so many suffer.
Well, for one, it's definitely a cycle.
Dude.
It's a controlled cycle.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's to kind of mesh both of your viewpoints together. It's like, yeah, you could put the pieces together up to a certain point in history.
Yeah.
And that was within the last 5 years. Because of AI. Imagine that every single news network used artificial intelligence to write their news. Imagine every country did that. What would you get? You would get nothing.
They're going to use AI to rewrite books. It is terrifying.
You could put the pieces together up to maybe let's say 2012. But now it's like what Mike is saying. It's like, I don't know what to believe. You could see a picture, and somebody could basically AI could make a picture of some atrocity, write a news article about that atrocity, and just fling it out into the fucking internet. And that's where it's dangerous.
Yeah,
exactly.
It could create history.
And unfortunately,
and you know what? Further along, like I said, change it. Change what happened.
Exactly.
On shift blame, all kinds of shit. Even though blame, other things. It's what it is, but you can see things like that happening just from stupid people promoting dumb shit to where now you have a technology that can take that dumb horse shit somebody was throwing out there in a fucking university, and it becomes fact in what actually happened, depending on who controls that AI that is going out to everybody. And people are so stupid. Everybody sees the pictures now, and I know it's a thing doing the virtual reality thing, but they're really pushing it more now, even though it's weird. Like, I feel like I saw more of it at different times. But just the memes with the goggles, just...
Yeah.
And people will just take it in. It shows it for what it is, and it sucks that people will do it. I like to think people would come around it. You got to feel like there's a gut instinct. There's an instinct in us like there is in animals. You like to think, we're late to the party, unlike a fucking dog or a fucking bird that knows the shit's fucking coming and they start fucking acting weird and doing shit. Yet we have the fucking capabilities to kind of try to do something and prepare for it. But when it comes to that fucking, oh fuck, like we're late to the fucking party, man.
Yeah.
You to think maybe it would click with people sooner where you could do. I'm fucking rambling like a motherfucker, man.
No,
but that's what this shit does to you.
Yeah. Well, trying to piece everything together.
I went all over the place. I was trying to make a point and just kind of lost myself just because it gets me emotional.
No, I mean, are you talking about you're like
getting people to be like, no, that's bullshit. You're telling me bullshit instead of taking it as, yes, this is what it is. This is how it was. This is how it needs to be.
But no, what you were comparing
this is how it's gonna be.
You were comparing it to the instinct of animals. So you're talking about you're standing out in a field, right? and like you don't know what the fuck's going on, but you see the birds fly in a particular.
I'll tell you what, if a nuke,
and then you see the zebras flee in a certain direction, and you're like, man, wonder what that's all about. And then you get like eaten by an alligator.
Dude, a prime example where people,
stupid human,
where creatures feel like things are building up, and you know what? Maybe sometimes they can say, "Oh, that's the animals; they're just panicking over the top." Yellowstone keeps getting worse. Eventually, that thing will pop off. That was a big. I used to talk about that shit all the time, and there's crazy shit with that, bigger cracks. But like the running of bison sometimes, or the birds scattering. Even when there's earthquakes, they know before earthquakes, the animals start acting weird, just little shit.
Because they actually think for themselves.
Yes, well, they feel it. And then if it's big shit, they kind of act weird. Sometimes there's been stories, it seems like, before major catastrophes where they're acting weird days beforehand or moving, like start migrating and shit like that, which is real fucking crazy.
You know what? You know my brain locked on just now, though?
What's that? Migration?
No. You were sitting there talking about Yellowstone's getting worse.
Yeah, it was recent I heard that. I hadn't looked into that in a long time.
But that's the thing. Is it getting worse? Or is it just doing what it was always supposed to do?
Well, yeah.
Like,
obviously.
We're not going to be able to make it better.
But they're talking more like certain cracks in the earth gotten
like,
wider.
Like they were talking about like one of the largest like volcanic explosions was, was it millions of years ago, something like that.
No, it's like every 600,000 to 800,000 years, and it's past that.
Yeah.
And it's like
and it could be a big event. It really could be, but it was just like you said, worse. And I was like, how can we make it better? We can't. Shit, it's just gonna keep getting worse until it explodes, and we're just gonna wait for it.
She's a gusher.
So, what's your job here, Yellowstone?
We just watch this.
Well, what do you think? Well, it'll probably just be like real quick, and hopefully I'll be sick that day.
You see that pool over there where it looks like all different colors in the water? I like take acid when I come to work and just stare at that shit, and it's a nice way to pass the time. And I listen to the Grateful Dead shows.
That would be, the acid thing, yeah, maybe. But no, visiting that place would be pretty cool.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We released wolves into Yellowstone. We're trying to build up. They're extinct. We're trying to build up their populations. So we released wolves into Yellowstone.
The packs of wolves are fighting individual like super-sized grizzlies. Oregon and eating up too much salmon, so they sent out the wolves to fucking put the bears in check or keep them on their toes, if anything. You're gonna work for this shit. I'll fuck your cub. I like snacks. Fucking AI.
Yeah, whenever you hear the term singularity, that's what you gotta really worry about. That's when.
What's that?
So if you have like, let's say, more mechanical type of AI, like actual AI, person that they're trying to do, for instance, singularity is where the code upgrades itself, learns by what it's like. For instance, the cameras within the eyes of something, reading and scanning something. It'll pick up on the general code, on what's what, and then it has its own, apparently they call it singularity. It's where it will interpret shit in its own way, just like, thinking for itself, making its own decisions, what's the best decision on things based on what, so, yeah, it would be like constantly upgrading itself, being better, and eventually, yeah, and then you gotta think, so let's say we have these things around doing work for us, making life easier, but then at what point would these AI stop and say, hey, we got a problem on the planet, it's humans?
Well, I'll be honest with you, before AI, it'll be the people.
Always ends up.
Yeah.
Well, the machines are like, man, fuck these humans.
I was gonna say, I think it'll be the people that control the AI beforehand. Like, all right, we solved this now. You're just using up resources.
That's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah, dude.
And then we get turned into batteries.
For the future.
I'll tell you the sad part is the spots that'll dwindle the fastest, the way it's going now, is the people that wanted all that shit. Isn't it fucking insane?
I mean, here's the thing: is that
those people are gonna lose those people behind a desk doing that kind of shit are gonna lose their spot before a human plumber will lose their spot.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, the whole thing is that when it comes to technologies, like, you know, advanced technologies, I mean, I'm all about, the world growing and shit. And
I agree, but in a positive way.
And it's gotten out of control, and it's already in the hands of...
It's like they say...
the way it seems.
When you look around you, and it sucks that it's like this, And there's some good... There's some good sprinkled in, and some of these people you kind of question maybe they're on the fringe, but because there's always people in their fucking ear. There's a fucking dark people that control the tippity top, that those people that could fucking do something, they kind of keep them on the fringes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It fucking sucks. It really feels that way, but it's what's overwhelming is when you realize how much of the evil is been in control for a while, and now it's just maybe it's concerning. I realize it because somebody like me, it's just that blatant now and you can see it, but I don't know. I know it's kind of out of nowhere. Do you guys want to take a intermission and then come back at this?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Probably
get them batteries recharged anyways.
Indeed. And now a word from our sponsor. Now what?
All right, folks. Yep. Sitting there, man, I'm going to do it. I'm going to break the fourth wall, man. We fucked up on that recording, folks.
I fucked up, dude. I fucked up so bad.
It was a really good one. And the off chance that it is still in this machine, I'm going glass half full on this one. Anyways, we were talking about technology. We were talking about AI and how it was messing everything up. But then, Mike's sitting there talking to me about all this different computer programming stuff that he's doing.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there, it's like, man, that's really useful skills. And then I'm on the other hand, I'm going like the complete opposite way. That's like, yeah, I'm gonna try like leather working and making stuff out of wood and shit.
That's how I was beginning before I started diving. It's almost like, doing the best of both worlds, doing the whole gardening, outdoor, grounding yourself, and having this knowledge.
Since being here, man, like Jimmy does the garden and stuff here, man. It's always it's always a fascinating thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
From start to finish, and you're like, whatever. I ate this tomato, nom 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 nom. I got it from Food Line, whatever. It cost 98 cents. But you grow something yourself. It's a different thing.
Oh, damn straight. I used to go out to the garden when I had my last one all the time. It was like, exciting every morning when they would start kicking in because of all the changes over time. And then, of course, you wait for the flowering stages on shit. And,
yeah.
Not just with wheat, but any of the vegetables and stuff, seeing all the different outcomes,
Oh, yeah, dude, shit gets you throbbing. It's like there's pheromones coming off the dirt.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we didn't acknowledge it. We'll move past it. I found out about the guy because of you, but I just want to give a shout out to Mojo Nixon. Passed away several weeks ago, because I hope this podcast gets out there. Dude needs more shout outs. You played Redneck Rampage, right?
Why does that sound familiar, but I can't think.
It's a first-person shooter game, and Mojo Nixon did a couple of the songs on there. Actually, there was the song Redneck Rampage that he did, that he actually made like a video.
And I did not mean to change up the conversation as part of technology, but it's good. Crazy motherfucker who...
Really that dude was a free speech advocate.
Yes. And then he partied like a motherfucker. When he died, he was like, master of ceremonies on a cruise, played his set with his band, jammed with other bands, had a big dinner afterwards with those bands, and then died in his fucking bed that night.
Wait, how's that? A heart attack, I assume?
They never said, but he was what he portrayed as what they say. He was like crazy off the wall motherfucker. Anyway, but I know we were talking about technology, but I wanted.
Well, no. I mean, that's
Mojo Nixon.
That is,
look him up. Good songs.
Yeah,
it's punk rock, country, man, rockabilly.
It was some really good stuff there.
Fuck yeah, dude! I found out about him because of you. He was fucking awesome. Yeah. But yeah, against the grain.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess if I could segue it in there, a lot of those, just those really quirky voices out there. It's man, I don't even want to like list names, because these are names that used to be on YouTube and then they got like destroyed, and then
Big Bear.
Yeah, god damn it, dude. that's why I mouthed it from my side of the table. But no. You get these you get these kooky people.
I love you, Big Bear.
You get these kooky people who are like famous, and it's like they get famous and then they see stuff, and it's like, wow, a lot of these people are just like moving out into like the middle of nowhere and starting farms and stuff themselves. Being self-sufficient, living off the land, stuff like that.
Yep.
But that was the thing. I was like, you're telling me about all the, computer programming stuff that you were getting into. It's like, I'm going the opposite way with that, but it's like, man, you really got to pick a side, because it's like, okay, if all the computers go down, then you're going to need to know how to make stuff out of wood.
Mike,
but if all the computers take over everything, you're going to want to know how to take over the computers.
What he's doing, though, I mean, with what you're doing,
it's true, though.
I mean, I guess. Well, never mind. You told me you do use your computer to control some of it, but can't some of it be controlled without it being
I hook it up to my computer, and I insert the code that I've developed. I'm typing in all my code, and and it goes into a microchip that's on my board, and that and that board, or if I got a microcontroller pro or a programmer for microchips, basically, I could hook those up and hook that up to my computer, put the code in that way, solder that chip onto a board, and go from there too. Of course, the other way is just starting off with a pre-built microboard that's got the basics with the jacks in it for you to send the signals out. You hook those up to all your other components on whatever your lights, your switches, your other IC units, and then, any little bits of software. You can separate your software and place it in like that. But at the end of everything, let's not even let's ignore the taking down AI or whatever. Just think about reverse engineering small or little things just to get the technology that could be helpful back up and going.
That's the big thing. That's AI in a positive state, but it goes negative so quick. With what you're saying, imagine AI that would help, that learned about farms and how to make farms better and how to grow food better, instead of the bleak shit that's out there. Imagine that. Yeah. You know, how to test soil better, how to
It seems like what Mike was saying was like, you know, not as much with like AI. As a matter of fact, I think that should just be gone.
Oh yeah,
yeah, absolutely,
just getting rid of. But basically, you were talking about reverse engineering. Are you talking about it's just an everyman reverse engineering stuff? That was helpful. Or are you talking about just like mankind? Reverse engineering stuff that used to be good, and it's like, why aren't we going back to this? It wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, let's say that we were in a situation where the world collapsed, and of course you lose the technology that like we're discussing, so it's meaningless or whatever. Technically, it wouldn't be if you get a power source and you can if you're out there scrapping up some shit, you could start forming up communications and all that. These things are real. Communications is a big key when it comes to
and it's very interesting that you were talking about that. This is something that I'm pretty sure. Well, all three of us better know what the fuck this is. The Dewey Decimal System.
Yes.
You know about it?
Yes.
Do you remember how it works?
Dewey Decimal?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same as any other decimal, would it?
The Dewey Decimal System is a library sorting thing.
Right.
Before computers. So, like, let's say all the computers were down, and you wanted to find a book that would teach you how to do something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like at the library.
Yeah, so
like, remember the opening scene to Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Yes. And then she totally fucked up the Dewey Decimal System for a second.
Yeah. No.
But let's say like all technology went down and the only thing you had was physical media and you had to go to some library, and then you'd have to know how to use the Dewey Decimal System. Old technology.
Yep.
Maybe it seems silly to think like, a bunch of numbers. No, that was technology. It was an organizing system for books so you could find stuff and you can organize and you can put it where it needed to go.
When it comes
at the
to
same time that was going on, we used that. We were also learning to write in cursive also.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's another perfect example because I guarantee you the same people who don't know about the fucking Dewey Decimal System because they don't need it anymore don't know how to write their own fucking names in cursive. I've had it happen. I was like, hey, I just need a signature on this paperwork, please. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just write your name in print.
Moment, yeah.
Just write your name in print.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to put a bunch of. A lot of people don't.
They scribble now. That's where a lot of it. Have you noticed that with a lot of people over time? Just a quick scribble.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say I kind of get to that just because our last name's so loud, so not loud, long.
Long, yeah. No, I used to.
Mine's a scribble because the way that I have to sign my paperwork, I have to have my name printed in full.
Oh.
And then I have to have a signature. And then I have to have my license ID number written on the things. Like
that's the tight end place that you're talking.
Yeah. It's just how it has to go.
It's
like RMP.
I take a big R for the last name.
Sure it's you.
And then I turn it into like scribbly gibberish.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
I mean, I know people who basically just drew like the coolest Ouroboros sign across my entire paperwork, just like figure 8. Yeah, I signed it. Hey, that's cool. That's your signature. That's fine. You gave me a check, and I wrote the check number down. Can't help but notice that there's no Ouroboros on your check, but that's fine. And then just put it with my paperwork and roll on.
I still stand by that my mother has the best fake it to make it signature for scribble. It's always been the same since I was a kid. Everything that she signed for school. And it was just like this weird cursive G. And I think there's like an N you can see in there for...
I bet there was just a regular
And then she would go into the last name, and it's like this giant R, and then... like a flurry of shit, but it looks beautiful. And it's all on a straight line, whereas my shit's all like...
Yeah. But yeah, it's...
looks like somebody failing a sobriety test when I write my shit like that.
Is this your signature, sir?
Easy.
Can you recreate it? Of course.
Coming in. I don't know.
Man, but it is funny that can't write in cursive. And yeah, this will date the hell out of this podcast, but we've dated the hell out of this podcast before. But it's like, why do we got to learn cursive? Well, what if one day, you get a T-shirt and it's not to your liking? Well, you can write that T-shirt company a strongly worded letter, and as long as it's written in cursive, they'll take you seriously, and maybe they'll give you a free T-shirt. It's like, nah, I can just fucking bomb the hell out of them on Facebook. I got like 5,000 friends on Facebook. They'll give me a free T-shirt. I don't need to write in cursive anymore. All I need to do is hate online.
Yeah, unless you're like trying to translate. So I don't know. I don't see any real reason for it. It's not even.
It you know what it is now for people like us? I mean, I've seen it before. It's like, so start reading cursive. You can read that? Yeah, it's just in cursive. It's like I feel like I know another language. It's like a cipher. All you gotta do if you want to trick fucking Gen Z, write all your fucking war plans in fucking cursive. They won't fucking know what the fuck you're looking at.
What's that?
This looks like a G, but maybe it's a Z with a number 3 with a tail. This is weird.
Why didn't they type it?
We couldn't hack their emails because they were sending each other messages by pigeon written in cursive.
No, I will say this, and I always stand by this, is that math and numbers is the universal language for sure when it comes to anything. So, when it comes to, I guess, any type of communications, really, people could solely go straight by numbers if they wanted to.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, it pops up in nature. The amount of leaves that are on a
the Fibonacci and shit.
Yes. But oh geez, you were making a different point beyond that or before that. Oh yeah, no. Math. Yeah. Dude, it reminds me of. I'm gonna just be a fucking movie nerd for a moment. Is The Prophecy?
Yeah.
Christopher Walken. Playing Gabriel. Yeah. Learn your math, kids. Key to the universe. And it's like, yeah, it's true.
It is. I mean, that's where, again, with technology, that's how everything grows. More advanced it gets, that's,
Secrets are hidden behind numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. But
well, it's like, yeah, hey,
some
you
ways
know what?
it does, I think.
Binary.
I mean, math is usually the foundation of almost anything worth anything.
Yep, absolutely.
You got a foundation to your building. Okay. You got the foundation, but how deep does it go?
What are your dimensions?
Exactly.
No,
you start with math.
Yep.
You start with math. Whether you're making a building or writing a program.
Yeah.
All right, we got this crater.
How fast should a cog move? That requires numbers.
What are the dimensions of this temple that you speak of?
Hey man, I made pierogies,
and they were awesome.
Okay, well the ingredients were salt, eggs, all-purpose flour, water.
Jeez.
But how many eggs? How much flour? How much water? Yeah.
Yep.
Math, just to make pierogies.
Yep.
It's as funny as you are.
It's a part of everything.
And then it's like, you don't even have to do like straight math. You do number patterns, all the same. It's like so many ways to go.
like those dudes who were ripping off those, what was it, Keno? The digital, I think it's a digital Keno boards in like any casino. It's like this weird.
Were those
it's
ones
a weird
that got in the fish tank system?
I don't know what it was, but it's basically Keno is just this weird numbers game.
Yeah.
And then you have these people who are like, okay, well, I don't know how to play Keno, but let's say it's a grid. Okay, it's a grid.
No, you get a bunch of Rain Man that figure that shit out,
it's,
man.
It's a grid, 50 by 50.
Dustin Hoffman's.
Yeah, it's a grid. It's 50 by 50 with 50 numbers going this way, 50 numbers going this way. And if I do this, and this, and I bet only in this corner of the board or this corner, and they'll fucking basically they're digital card counters. Yeah. They know how the computers will select the numbers, and then they know what numbers to select in Keno to win the biggest bets. And yeah, it's card counting, but it's to trick a thing that they were trying to use to trick people.
Yeah.
And that's all they're good for, because everything else in life, they're probably the world's biggest asshole. So you just take advantage. They're that good at that to where it's like, all right, I'm gonna look past this. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna make this money, and then you're gonna get the fuck out of my life.
Have you ever been to a casino, Jimmy?
No, I have no desire to.
Well, you got to go because you don't know what you're missing. It's great. It smells like cigars and cigarettes everywhere, even in the non-smoking sections. Brilliant. You go there, and haggard people in miniskirts bring you drinks that used to be free, but now they cost $1.
Can I ask? Is the smell of the cigars
and strangers?
The smell of the cigars and cigarettes, is that supposed to hide the smell of desperation that's fucking everywhere in there?
That is the smell of desperation. It's the cups are left behind with the cigarette butts in them.
No, you don't. No, it's not a smell of desperation. If it were just, it was a smell of desperation, people wouldn't want to go there.
Is it delusion then? What about delusion?
Okay, well, I'll tell you this: if you've never been to a casino, then you're not familiar with this. But you go to a casino, right? And you go there at, let's say, 9 o'clock at night. It's dark outside. You come through the front doors, and you look out the doors you came through. It looks dark out. Oh, man. Okay, no big deal. It's 9 o'clock, whatever. Go back to that casino at noon and walk through the same doors, and then look through those doors, and it'll look like it's still night.
This is true.
They don't want you to. They try to get rid of the illusion of time. They have just these flashing red light machines. Dude, they know which machines need to flash which colors to attract either male gamblers or female gamblers. It's bananas.
Dude, it sounds like a fucking corporate fucking legal drug dealer.
Oh, are you ready for this? Your prizes are tracked on smart cards passed around throughout machine to machine. Okay, they know how much you're winning. They're keeping track. They know what's going on.
When you go to a casino, I don't ever get this because I think it's the fucking dumbest fucking. It's the Food Lion card of casinos. But you get this card, and it's like, hey, we'll keep track of how much money you're spending, and if you spend $100,000 in a month, you can get your platinum card. It's fucking stupid. But yeah, people plug their cards in and hoping they'll get like a comp at the buffet or some shit. But basically what it's doing is tracking where they're going, how much they're winning, and then almost certainly when to bog down a particular machine.
Yeah. It's a system. It really is. Everything's a system, because if you have a good system on something, whether its intentions are good or bad, if you have a good system, you can.
Well, that's
like
the thing.
Churches.
That's why.
Synagogues.
That's why people. They say the wise bet. Don't. If you go to a casino, don't go play the fucking slot machines and shit. Learn how to play the card games. Learn how to play the dice games. Look, you go to a computer, and you hit the spin button, and they're like, "Oh man, you just bet $5. Guess what? You didn't win nothing. You want to give us another $5?" And you're like, "Yeah, I want to give you another $5." Oh, you just lost another $5. Maybe you won 50 cents. But you play a card game, the odds are with the amount of cards that are in that deck and the amount of sides on a particular set of dice. Your odds are still not in your favor, but they're way more in your favor playing cards and dice games than it is to play the machines. So basically, what are you doing? you're fucking pen and paper and at a casino. That's what you're doing. Fuck the computers. Go with pen and paper.
And you know what else that you would
Plastic
think you
chips.
could trust? You know what you think you could trust in some of the games at least a little bit would be the roulette table, until I went there and saw it for myself the last time, which I can tell you, you're not allowed to go up anywhere near it. They use social distancing for that, by the way. So you got a screen up on there. You got this the roulette table, but it's on a podium. This person standing next to a podium, I can guarantee they have a little pedal that can stop that shit closest to what they kind of needed to based on the larger amount of bets.
You know what it is? It's probably not like a machine that like will break it immediately. It's almost like when a fan is rolling and then you try to turn it off and you're not sure if the motor's still on, so you put your hand up and it's like
I'm curious.
Black. Ha! You lose all your money.
The motherfuckers that realize this is going on and they've lost their mind so much and they're so jacked and they see the camera and they go through with this shit and they're always just like, and they look at the camera and they start like, like waving their finger like, and their fucking eyes are like glazed over. Like, whoa! Get the bag ready.
Oh, man. We gotta
suit him up. Like when somebody's yelling, "You motherfucker," and then it's just silence behind glass, and it's just like this.
I just picture the person on the other side of the glass just sitting there giving them a smile to piss them off.
And then some spit gets involved, and it's like you don't know where it's going to go after the spit gets involved.
For the folks at home,
that's like a stabbing, man. You spit on me.
For the folks at home, that small amount of silence was Jimmy doing a physical bit over audio media where he was pretending to yell through a soundproof door. You couldn't see it. Because we're on the radio.
But you could feel the rage.
No, but I get you on that one. That's always funny, man.
What the fuck? Oh. No, it was a thing.
Did that pick up on your headphones?
Oh, no.
That would be cool if it did.
Yeah, I think it did. These are pretty sensitive on this machine. We're using a different thing.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? We're using new technology, and
not really.
it's newer than this technology, and this technology works better than this technology.
Indeed.
And it's crazy how that goes.
It's because Zoom sucks. And on that note, I don't know. It's a thing. You know.
Now I continue to break the fourth wall.
We will do it. We can't help but do it because we don't have these fucking batteries.
That's what I'm saying. All right, folks. We're talking about technology, and we don't know if we can record for 25 minutes or 45 minutes because we're hooked up to regular AA batteries like cavemen.
And I already fucked up one segment, so we got to recharge the other ones. We don't even know what's going on, man. Nobody knows who you are.
Well, let me tell you something. The next upgrade you get on this might be a smart device one, and that's when you gotta worry.
Dude.
Motherfucker.
Man. Maybe we should put off the fucking fancy steaks.
I already got equipment lined up, man.
Nice.
You know, I've been on Team.
I'll put the. Dude,
I'm just
kidding.
kidding.
That's so nice. Yeah.
Don't be EJ.
No. I laughed at that shit. Fuck Timo. I don't even need to go there. Fuck that shit.
Have you gotten anything from Timo?
I don't want to, man. That shit you can. You tell me you see the shit you could buy on Timo. It's that fucking cheap, and you a fool to pay for that. You a fool to waste your money. Oh, it was a good deal, but it's shit. You bought shit.
Man. Nah. You know why Timo isn't shit? Because I went to a store and bought a pocket watch one time. And then I looked at that pocket watch, and I looked at a lot of stuff in the store, and saw that a lot of the stuff in the store was stuff you could get on Temu, and I looked up that pocket watch. Now, if Temu sold shit, then why would I have paid $12 for a watch Temu sold for $3?
Because you're a king. Look, man.
No.
I'm already in the hunt. We're upgrading this shit. Partloadian Podcast is coming back hard. We're going to get better shit. There's going to be more uploads. I'm telling you. We're going Starlink, baby! I don't know.
Yeah, if it works. Man, maybe even Starlink is like, where's Partlow?
What the fuck's Partlow? Man, that's some fucking bullshit.
You know what? Hey, if I'd love to do that. Type in Partlow in Google, and Google's like, "Where's Partlow?" And it's like, "Yeah, you keep it that way."
They just say the Stanfield dump
all the time.
That's not even part of Partlow. Never mind. Coleman, Coal Hill. That's all they'll show is the dump or some church. God damn. Nothing against the churches.
Oh goodness.
Better than a Gog. Or Osk.